everyone. So today I'm back with another sketchbook show and tell video. This is sketchbook number 3. I believe I started it. It doesn't have a date on the inside. I try and keep the insides dated, but the early ones I didn't. But I believe this is from fall of 2012. So this is from the beginning of my sophomore year of college into, I want to say, January. This one was filled out relatively quickly. This is kind of a hard one for me because I was dealing with some crazy unfortunate shit at the time. And I glued in a lot of these really random kind of industrial looking stickers and a lot of leaves. This is a native tree to northern Utah, the scrub oak, or the scrub maple, I'm sorry. And so there's a bunch of leaves in here because my freshman year of college, living in the South and there wasn't fall, I was very homesick, and so I had my parents send me some fall leaves that were pressed. But I have lots of little glue in things. I was experimenting with markers a little bit with this. I keep all kinds of strange notes and stuff in my sketchbooks anyway, and I have like a Gypsy 83 from 2001 over here, and I ended up really loving that movie, but this is before I ever watched it. And then a quote from The Crow, secondhand from William Shakespeare, Milton, abashed the devil stood and felt how awful goodness is. This is like a library that I had a strange dream about. Too many books. This was kind of experimenting with trying to find bone structure based off of a self-conceived self-portrait without a mirror, and it just looked awful. I don't know why I tore part of the sketchbook out like that. I just did. But this was another kind of like weird half dream idea of stitching fingers together. I don't know why. I tried playing around with like comic style facial expressions and it didn't really work all that well. There's lots of experiments in here that I hate. One of them says eyes black with camera lenses, mouth open with microphone mesh. This was actually inspired by a short story in one of my fiction classes that someone else wrote, and I thought the imagery of it was really cool. So I did a really bad doodle based off of that. This says Razor Lollipop Girl, and it was inspired by an Angel Spit song. There's lots of quotes from the Crow in here, apparently. Greed is for amateurs, disorder, chaos, anarchy. No, that's fun. This was planning out something for a digital design class. The first time I ever used InDesign and Photoshop in conjunction to one another, and it was a nightmare. I hated it. This was for a tattoo design someone commissioned for me long before I ever thought about becoming a tattoo artist, because that's a weird world. I doodled a lot of bats, more leaves, and I would draw really boring stuff too. This is just a jug of iced tea that I drew, because when you practice everything, including the boring stuff. This is from seeing a showing of the original Todd Browning's Dracula in a theater in Savannah for Halloween. Business cards, comp sketches, a friend's old address that she doesn't have anymore, more awful, hideous doodles, more business cards. Most of these are business cards from tattoo artists around Savannah. More quotes from The Crow, trying to list a bunch of Christopher Lee as Dracula roles, more ugly doodles, trying to come up with comic ideas that ended up failing, more awful doodles. This was what my roommate and I ended up wearing for Halloween my sophomore year, which was funny since both of us were normally all black clad. To be a rainbow of colors was something else. That's a friend of mine drawing in one of our favorite coffee shops. Be Daniel. More leaves. Bats I was initially planning on trying to get tattooed behind my ear, and then ended up not wanting to do. Angel Spit lyrics. A really ugly drawing of a David Bowie that has a cat on its head. I can't remember why. More random comics I tried to draw out that didn't pan out. Doing little posture sketches, trying to map out a comic that didn't work out. Drawing my lunch at Gallery Espresso in Savannah. Another leaf. More ugly drawings, more ugly drawings. This one was kind of cool. It was a idea of blood the color of flower petals. This was a tree in Vermont when I had Thanksgiving at my aunt's house. That was just creepy. I thought that one was kind of fun. I would sometimes draw to try and incorporate in the random shit I glue in here. Still like my little raven dude. He was kind of cool. Sketching myself on the plane, or how I imagined I looked when I was sitting on the plane. Random buildings. This was like a loom pipe organ mixture based off of these guys, these story weavers, which were some things I was trying to write about. And I was not able to successfully draw them as well as I imagined them. More leaves. This was something I had in a dream that was really weird. This was when I was sitting in the passport office in Boston and drawing windows across the way because I was really bored. Driving back from Boston to New Hampshire. Some more ugly drawings. A comic that was inspired by some of the conversations I've had with one of my friends. My eye. Another ugly doodle. When I saw The Dark Knight Rises, which I forgot I saw in a theater. Another comic involving my friends, inspired by The Cure's song Lullaby. More ugly drawings. More ugly drawings. Lyrics to a Kelly song. So this sketchbook takes place when I was in Italy. I was there for 3.5 weeks when I was 19 because I was kicked out of my mother's house and just sort of ended up there with my dad and stepmom. And so there's a lot of doodles from when I was in Italy, and I drank a lot of Prosecco when I was there because that was what my stepmom liked to drink. Inspired from my Emily Autumn phase. More ugly doodles. Experimenting with paints that I got in Venice. More silly comics. More ugly doodles. More ugly doodles inspired by an Oscar Wilde quote. A little tiny map of Venice going to talk about this was to go to a specific restaurant, I guess. I just thought the tiny map was cool. Experimenting with markers and using an Emily Autumn quote. I ordered something from Angel Spit while I was gone. I appreciated that I was asked how was Italy. More experimenting with markers and ugly doodles. Ugly doodles. I glue in a lot of stuff sometimes. Seeing Les Mis in the theater. This was based off of, I don't know if it was a story or a dream or what. Seeing a museum in Venice. More ugly doodles. Oh, the complete rhyme for Remember the 5th of November instead of the partial, from going to a museum in Treviso, also in Treviso. That was where my dad and stepmom were living when he worked out there still. And so my stepmom and I ended up seeing a couple of museums, from seeing The Hobbit in a theater, more glued in stuff, bad dreams, and just random business cards and stuff. So yeah, and then this is a sticker that someone in one of my classes came up with, and I asked for one. I thought that was cool. But yeah, that's my third sketchbook. It's a very uncomfortable one. I don't like it, but as you can tell, I have grown a lot. Till next time, Darklings.